Manuel Castells' theory of network power, understanding how networks shape our world. Manuel Castells, a sociologist and professor, is known for his ideas about network power, an influential theory explaining how modern society is connected and controlled through networks. Networks are the connections between people, organizations, or even systems. Whether we realize it or not, our lives are shaped by these networks in almost every area, from social media and friendships to businesses and global economies. Castells' theory looks at how networks organize society and how they influence power, economics, politics, and even our personal lives. To begin, it helps to understand what Castells means by a network. Imagine the internet as one huge network of people and information connected globally. But networks can also be smaller and more specific, like social networks or business connections. According to Castells, these networks are powerful because they are flexible and adaptable. They can change and grow as needed. In traditional societies, power was often tied to institutions or government, but today, much of the power lies within networks. For example, a social media platform can have more influence on public opinion than a news organization because it can reach a broader and more targeted audience. Castells argues that these networks create a network power. In other words, power no longer comes from individual people or even single institutions, but from the connections between them. Think of it like this: a single person may not have much power, but if they are part of a network of millions of people, like a social media network, they gain power from being connected to others. This is the same for companies and organizations. Their strength lies in their network of relationships. As Castells sees it, network power is the ability to influence others within these networks and to shape the flow of information, ideas, or resources. One of the key features of network power is its ability to spread information quickly. In the past, ideas and information were controlled by a few major sources, like governments or large media companies. But with the rise of digital networks, information can be shared almost instantly across the world. This creates a kind of power where whoever controls or has influence over a network can decide what information gets shared and what does not. For instance, think about how some news stories go viral while others do not. It often depends on the networks sharing them and whether the story fits the interests or goals of that network. Another critical point Castells makes is that network power is not always fair. In his view, networks create an unequal system where those who are well connected get more advantages, while those who are not connected are often left out or ignored. This creates a digital divide where people without access to certain networks, like the internet, have less power and fewer opportunities. The internet and social media, for example, are powerful networks. But people without internet access cannot participate in these digital networks, which limits their ability to connect, share ideas, or access important information. In this way, networks can reinforce existing inequalities, making it harder for some people to improve their situation. Castells' theory also explains how network power can shape our economies. In today's globalized world, businesses are part of complex networks of suppliers, customers, investors, and competitors. Companies that are well connected in these networks tend to be more successful because they can access resources, information, and opportunities more easily. For example, a tech company that is part of a network with other innovative companies can quickly adopt new ideas and stay competitive. But companies outside these networks struggle to keep up, making it difficult to survive in the market. Network power, then, affects which businesses succeed or fail and influences entire industries. Politics is another area where network power plays a huge role. In traditional politics, governments were the main sources of power and control. However, in the networked world, new players have emerged, like global corporations, social media platforms, and international organizations. These entities can sometimes influence political decisions more than elected leaders because they control critical networks of information and resources. Social movements, too, have learned to use network power. By connecting people online, these movements can gain supporters quickly, spread their message, and push for change, often bypassing traditional political structures. Castells also talks about the concept of a networked individualism. In today's world, people are more connected as individuals rather than as part of groups. For example, people used to be connected through family, local community, or workplace groups. But now, social media and other online platforms allow people to build their own personal networks of friends, family, co-workers, and acquaintances. This gives individuals a sense of independence because they can choose who to connect with and how to engage. However, this also means people are less tied to local communities and may feel less responsibility toward them. Instead, their loyalty lies within the online networks they choose. While Castells sees the power and potential of networks, he also warns of some dangers. One major issue is the lack of privacy in networked societies. In these networks, personal information is constantly shared, tracked, and even sold. Social media companies, for example, collect vast amounts of data about their users, which they use to target advertising and control the content people see. This creates a situation where companies or governments can monitor people's actions, interests, and even predict their behavior, raising concerns about surveillance and control. Another challenge is that networks can create echo chambers. In a networked society, people often connect with others who share similar beliefs or interests. This can be good, but it also means people are less exposed to diverse perspectives. For instance, on social media, algorithms often show users content that aligns with their views, creating a bubble where they only see information they already agree with. This can make it harder for people to understand or relate to different opinions, leading to a more divided society. One of the most exciting aspects of Castells' theory is the idea that networks are always evolving. Because networks are flexible, they can adapt to new challenges and changes in society. This flexibility is one reason networks are so powerful. They can respond to new situations, unlike traditional institutions that are often slower to change. As technology advances, networks will continue to grow and change, and so will the ways they influence society. This means that network power is not just a current issue, it is something that will shape our future in ways we cannot fully predict. In summary, Castells' theory of network power explains how modern society is shaped by connections. These networks create a new form of power that influences almost every aspect of our lives, from how we communicate and get information to how businesses, politics, and even personal relationships work. Network power is dynamic, flexible, and global, but it is not always fair. It can create inequalities, limit privacy, and reinforce divisions in society. However, it also has the potential to connect people, spread ideas, and adapt to changing times. Castells' ideas show us that to understand the modern world, we must understand the networks that drive it. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this discussion on Manuel Castells' theory insightful, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on future videos exploring social theories and ideas.